I'm 16 years old.
I'm a junior in high school.
And I use nicotine daily.
I'm addicted to nicotine. The first time I used a Juul, so I think I was at the library, just doing homework. And I just took my friend's Juul and just hit it.
It was when I was a sophomore. I saw someone in the school bathroom. I saw someone who was using one and I gave it a try.
Whether it's like a Micro or a Novo or Soren or Juul.
The most popular one, most well known, is the Juul.
Teenagers use Juuls everywhere because they're kind of very addicting, so wherever you get the chance to use them. School bathrooms are a big one. Most teenagers get Juuls from people with fake IDs or from smoke shops that don't card people.
From what people have told me, it's really easy to bypass the age restrictions, and if they're buying it off a credit card of someone who's over the age of 21, it shouldn't be much of an issue. There's not a lot of age verification online.
So juuling has gone way up, and I think what a lot of people don't realize is that one Juul pod contains about 40 milligrams of nicotine, and that's the same as an entire pack of cigarettes.
The smell? I think the smell is really good because like it just smells cool. Like this flavor is called Very Cool, and these are like the fruit flavors that the juice has. So it's like, I guess it's raspberry, blueberry, and more raspberry or something.
I mean, I had already kind of been interested in it. I'd seen people with Juuls. I thought it was kind of interesting. I wanted to try it out. Maybe I thought, I don't know, a lot of it was just kind of like looked cool. It was like a cool little device.
I feel like from that experience, it became a regular thing because a lot of people I know have them, and so it was always easily accessible, and I decided I wanted one.
I mean, I typically just use it at home while I'm driving. I try not to use it at school. I know a lot of people use them on campus, in the bathrooms. It's very portable, very discreet, about the size of a USB stick.
If you have like an empty pod, like see this pod's like almost empty. So the way you can like refill it, you open the hatch that's like right here with like your nail or whatever. And then you get your juice and you screw the top off. And you put it in the hole that's like right here, and then you just squeeze it in. And then you just close it.
And so youth rates of our young people rate of smoking went way down. Then unfortunately with e-cigarettes it became cool again to smoke, and with the flavored packs it was oriented more toward the youth market.
From the moment I bought it, I think I was using it probably every day just because it was so easy to use. It was like, it felt really good, it was like there's no reason not to, I guess.
Because their brain is still developing up until age 25 approximately, so their brain is very, very sensitive to the effects of juuling. It crosses through their lungs into their blood system really fast, their bloodstream, and then it crosses from their blood into the brain. And in the brain, it increases the neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is a chemical that's associated with reward. Dopamine is something that is meant to keep us alive. The main chemical that's like associated with gambling or any other addiction that people have a hard time stopping, that they crave.
You literally crave it like it's a necessity. Like if you go long enough without it, it's like going long enough without water or sleep or food, like things that you need to survive. An extremely negative experience with vaping would be the day after I got my Juul. And I was so excited about it. I used like 3/4 of a pod in like probably 4 hours. So I got really, really sick, and I threw up for 2 days and couldn't eat and didn't go to school.
And then when I stood up, I felt like really sick, and I had dinner with my mom that night, and I didn't even finish my dinner. I just like went upstairs and threw up.
The Surgeon General just December 2018 pronounced that vaping is a youth epidemic. The studies show like 10% of high school kids have vaped, but it's similar to how cigarettes were like in the epidemic in the 40s and 50s. As you know, like in the 1940s and 1950s, smoking tobacco was a huge epidemic. Like you look at the movies and everything, and everyone was smoking, and it was people didn't realize how harmful it was.
Doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?"
Then there was a big public health campaign, and people started to realize how bad cigarettes are for them, tobacco is.
Definitely social media had a big influence on it reaching a mass amount of people.
But there used to be this Instagram account that was called like "Do It for Juul," and that was it was kind of funny. You know, it was like, you know, there were like videos of people hitting like 10 joules at once or something, and it was kind of like, it was kind of funny. You're like, oh, these kids are stupid.
I think, like a lot of things in pop culture, one person does it and then it kind of trickles down into a lot of people wanting to use it.
One of the two co-founders of the company that creates the Juul pods, he was a long time ago when he was just coming up with a business plan. He was telling me about it, and we got into like a pretty intense argument because I just think it's unethical and immoral to profit off getting kids addicted to nicotine. The two co-founders literally have made over $1 billion each of profit.
It's kind of always that feeling of like, oh, I should stop, but then I never get around to it.
As far as looking into the future, like, you know, this is a whole generation of kids that could potentially be addicted to nicotine and have really bad health effects that they're not even thinking about right now.